Hey, and welcome to the Explainer. So, if your business is growing, you've probably felt this, right? That feeling of being totally buried under a mountain of transactions. It's organized chaos at best. Well, today, we're going to show you how to turn that chaos into crystal clarity using a really simple but powerful accounting tool, special journals. So, does this ring a bell? You've got invoices piling up, sales are just flying out the door, and that one big book you started with? Yeah, it's becoming a total nightmare. If you feel like your financial records are just a tangled mess, trust me, you are so not alone. Okay, so here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to dive into why that single giant journal is such a big problem. Then, we'll introduce a much more organized way of doing things and show you exactly how to track your purchases and sales. And finally, we'll pull it all together to see the huge payoff. All right, let's get right into it with Section 1, the giant journal problem. This is all about understanding why that one big book approach, the one that worked great when you started out, just completely falls apart once your business really starts to take off. It's kind of like trying to find one specific email in an inbox that has thousands of messages but zero folders. That's what a single general journal becomes. As your credit purchases and sales pile up, that book gets massive. Finding one little transaction is like finding a needle in a haystack, and updating your main accounts, the ledger, is a total drag. It's just a recipe for headaches and costly errors. So, how do we fix this mess? Well, that brings us right to Section 2, a more organized way. Instead of that one giant chaotic book, we're going to introduce a much smarter system using specialized journals. So look, on the left, you got the old way. It's just chaos, right? A total tornado of transactions all mixed up. And on the right, the smart way. We simply create separate, dedicated books for our most common transactions. All of your credit purchases get their own home in a purchases journal, and all your credit sales go neatly into a sales journal. It's that simple. We're moving from chaos to order. Okay, let's get practical with Section 3, tracking your purchases. We're going to follow the money right from the moment an invoice hits your desk to how it actually ends up in your main books. So, what exactly is a purchases journal? Well, think of it like a specialized diary. Its one and only job is to record all the goods you buy on credit. And this part is absolutely crucial. If you pay with cash, that transaction goes somewhere else, into the cash book. This journal is strictly for your credit purchases and nothing else. Okay, so here's what it looks like in the real world for a company we'll call ABC Textiles. You can see how every single credit purchase is neatly logged. You've got the date, the invoice number, the supplier. But here's where the real magic happens, at the end of the month. Instead of rustling with dozens of individual entries, you just get one clean, simple total, 130,000 rupees in credit purchases for January. And this is the game changer. Instead of posting every single one of those transactions to your main ledger, you only post one number. You take that 130,000 total and make a single debit entry in your main purchases account. Then you just update each supplier's individual account. I mean, this one simple change saves an unbelievable amount of time and keeps your main books squeaky clean. Okay, but what happens when you have to send stuff back? Maybe something was defective or they sent you the wrong items. Well, that's where the Purchases Returns Journal comes in. It's another special book used exclusively for tracking any goods you return to your suppliers. So let's check back in with ABC Textiles. On January 10th, you can see they returned 3,000 rupees worth of goods to Ram Cloth House. Just like before, every return is recorded, and at the end of the month, we get a clean total for all returns, 9,000 rupees. And here's where you see the whole story come together in the supplier's own account. Let's look at Ram Cloth House. On January 2nd, ABC Textiles bought goods and owed them $35,000. But after that 3,000 rupee return on the 10th, the ledger automatically updates. The final balance they owe is now clearly $32,000. See? No guesswork. Everything is perfectly tracked and crystal clear. All right, let's flip over to the other side of the business now with Section 4, tracking your sales. And the best part? If you've got a handle on purchases, sales is going to be a piece of cake. It's the exact same logic, just in reverse. So yeah, the sales journal is basically the mirror image of the purchases journal. Its one and only purpose is to record all the goods you sell to your customers on credit. And you guessed it, the same rule applies. If a customer pays in cash, that goes into the cash book. This journal is for credit sales only. And here it is in action for ABC Textiles. It's that same clean, organized format, but this time it's tracking every sale they made on credit. By the end of January, they've tallied up a neat total of 103,000 rupees in credit sales. And posting, you guessed it, it follows that same super efficient logic. That 103,000 total gets posted as a single credit to your main sales account. After that, you just update each customer's individual account to show how much they owe you. Again, it's one simple total entry from maximum efficiency. And to close the loop, here's what it looks like from the customer's point of view. On January 3rd, Ajay stores bought 12,000 rupees worth of goods, so that's what they owed. But then on January 10th, they returned 2,000 rupees worth. Now their account clearly shows they only owe a balance of 10,000. Zero confusion. All right, we've looked at all the nitty-gritty details. Now it's time to zoom out for Section 5, the big picture payoff. This is where we see exactly why this simple system is so incredibly effective. This table right here lays out the entire system beautifully. You can just see the perfect symmetry. On one side, you're tracking what's coming in, buying on credit. On the other, what's going out, selling on credit. The returns journals are just the reverse. It's an elegant, logical, and incredibly clean way to track the flow of everything in and out of your business. So what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, this isn't just about being neat and tidy. It's about building a faster, smarter, more efficient business. You're saving a ton of time, and time is money, right? You can easily divide up the work among your team. And because your main ledger is so clean, when you need a financial report for a loan or for taxes, it's ready in a flash, not in a week. This is all about gaining control, speed, and clarity. So the next time you find yourself staring down a mountain of paperwork and invoices, just remember, there is a much, much smarter way. This system is a practical tool that can turn all that complexity into simple clarity. The only real question is, are you ready to finally get organized and conquer that financial chaos for good?